Welcome to the deep dive. We're here again, digging into sources, pulling out the really fascinating bits for you. Today, we're tackling something you probably, definitely just toss out. Tamarind seeds. Yeah, you know the fruit, right? That tangy stuff used all over Asia and Africa. Delicious. But the seeds, almost always considered waste. But as we started digging, what we found about these little seeds, it really shifted our thinking. Might shift yours too, actually, about this whole idea of waste. So our mission today, uncover the incredible, untapped potential hidden in these discarded seeds.
Exactly. And the sources, well, they show a real treasure trove. It connects ancient knowledge with some pretty cutting-edge modern ideas. It's quite something what's been hiding there all along.
You'd think, right? Something thrown away. Must be useless. But nutritionally, our sources were honestly a bit of an eye-opener. They basically say these seeds are just packed with nutrients.
Yeah, and it's not just a little bit. The depth of the nutrition is what's striking.
Yeah.
Throwing away protein, good fiber, loads of antioxidants. Our sources really emphasize how robust they are nutritionally. Not just okay, but actually rich in things like calcium, iron, potassium. It really makes you stop and think about what else we just tossed, doesn't it?
It really does. So, okay, they're nutritious, but do the sources give any clues why these seeds specifically are such powerhouses compared to, say, other fruit seeds?
That's a good point. They don't really do a direct comparison with other specific seeds, not in the sources we saw, but they do consistently highlight this unique balance.
Yeah.
The macromolecules, the micronutrients. It suggests the seed is just really efficient at storing stuff for the plant to grow, and, lucky for us, that translates into good nutrition.
Okay, so nutrient dense. But if that surprised you, wait till you hear about their history. These seeds, it turns out, have been used in traditional medicine for ages. Definitely not seen as waste back then.
Oh, absolutely. Our sources confirm they were used extensively, especially in Ayurvedic and Unani practices. Those ancient holistic systems from India and the Middle East. It's such a contrast to how we see them now. Traditionally, they were believed to have anti-inflammatory properties and used for a whole range of things. Digestive troubles, skin conditions, bringing down fevers, even as an anti-diabetic agent, apparently.
Wow, that's quite a list. Did any specific stories or really unusual historical uses jump out from the sources? Or maybe did they hint at why modern medicine hasn't fully picked up on this? Are there hurdles?
That's a key question. The sources mostly focus on what they were used for historically. But yeah, they kind of implicitly raise that issue of modern scientific proof. It's often tricky, isn't it? Bridging that gap between centuries of observation and traditional systems and the rigorous clinical trials needed today. Still, the sheer breadth of use suggests they really believed in its effectiveness back then.
Right. So a nutritional champ, an ancient remedy. But the story keeps going. Our deep dive showed potential reaching way beyond medicine, even into your bathroom cabinet in your kitchen.
Yes, the versatility is really quite something. For skin and hair. The sources mention using them as a natural scrub. You grind them into a fine powder, use it for exfoliating, meant to leave your skin really smooth. And for hair, the traditional belief is it helps growth and cuts down on dandruff. Think about that. Peeling tamarind, and instead of biting the seeds, you're thinking, face scrub. Who knew?
That's pretty amazing. From medicine to maybe a DIY spa treatment. Okay, but what about food? Are they used in cooking at all?
They are, yeah. In some places, they're actually used as a spice. Adds a kind of unique nutty flavor. And our courses also pointed out they're important for making tamarind kernel powder. That's used quite a bit, especially in Indian cooking, as a thickener. You find it in things like ice cream, sauces, even baked goods sometimes.
Okay, this is quite the journey already. Nutrition, ancient medicine, beauty, cooking. But hang on, because the really innovative stuff, the moments that made us go, aha, that's when we look at how they could help with, bigger problems, eco-friendly materials, even clean water.
This is where it gets really broad. The seeds have a lot of these things called polysaccharides. Think of them like long chains of natural sugars, kind of a natural polymer. And that specific chemistry makes them really useful for making sustainable packaging. So people are looking into using them for biodegradable plastics, paper, replacing the usual stuff. It's a renewable alternative, which is huge.
Wow. Okay.
And those same polysaccharides, they do something else pretty amazing. They act like tiny magnets in water. They can actually grab onto heavy metals and other pollutants. So they're being looked at as this potential low-cost, eco-friendly way to help clean contaminated water. A natural filter, basically.
So it's like a double win then. You're tackling waste and potentially creating sustainable alternatives or solving environmental problems like water access. It sounds incredible. Almost. Too easy.
Did the sources mention any big challenges in actually scaling these things up? Like for the plastics or the water treatment?
That's a really practical point. And yes, scaling up always has hurdles. You need a reliable supply of the seeds, for one, and then making the extraction and processing cheap enough to compete. That's key. But the research we looked at, it suggests there's real progress being made. They're actively working on making it viable on a bigger scale.
Okay. And just when we thought we'd heard all the uses, our deep dive took one more turn. And this next one, honestly, this was the real jaw dropper for us. Something that could seriously change how we think about waste and energy.
Right. This was maybe the most surprising application we found. Creating sustainable charcoal from tamarind seeds. These seeds, they can be processed into charcoal. And that charcoal can be used for cooking, for heating, even for filtering water, just like regular charcoal.
Sustainable charcoal.
Exactly. And think about what that means. It's not just finding a use for waste. You're creating a renewable energy source. And crucially, one that could take pressure off forests. It's an alternative to chopping down trees for charcoal, which, as you know, is a huge driver of deforestation. It's this really neat circular approach. Reduce waste, create energy, and help protect ecosystems. It's quite brilliant, really.
Wow. Turning trash, essentially, into renewable fuel that fights deforestation. It's more than just an aha moment. That really does feel like it could shape things differently. A genuine resource from waste. So, wrapping up this deep dive, it's crystal clear, isn't it? Tamarind seeds are so much more than waste. Our sources paint this picture of a hidden powerhouse. Nutrition, ancient medicine, skincare, eco-materials, and then this game-changing sustainable charcoal. The potential is just undeniable.
It really is. And this whole exploration, it's not just about tamarind seeds, is it? It makes you ask bigger questions about how we label things as waste in the first place. If these discarded seeds have so much value locked inside, what other stuff are we throwing away that could hold transformative secrets? And what does that mean for how we approach sustainability, globally? It's kind of profound, thinking that answers to big issues like clean water or renewable energy might be sitting in what we consider garbage makes you rethink everything.
Absolutely. So the final thought for you to take away. How does this change how you look at the waste generated in your own kitchen, or even by industries? What other hidden potential might be lurking in the things we discard every day? Definitely something to chew on until our next deep dive.